first came to the United States and started making videos, we were warned. We were warned about this.
We were.
We were told to lawyer up. And guess what? Ever since we've gotten here, we've had to deal with all sorts of unfortunate legal issues.
Yeah.
Now we have a huge one we're gonna reveal in this video that dates all the way back to our first HQ. That's right, that first location we had in Huntington Beach. We're gonna have to probably bring in the Hairline Bros to deal with yet another legal battle. And you're not even gonna believe this one. Buckle up, hang on, because I can't even believe we're dealing with this.
California, bro. Everyone sues everyone. Always. Every day. Even right now. We're going back. We're going back to the old HQ.
What are they doing? I can't believe this is still going on. Bro, if we had been here when they told us 30 days, they said 30 days to 60 days.
Yeah.
How long's it been now?
Well, we're at the end of May, so I don't know, 4 months. And this is the outside, like the inside's all torn apart. Unfortunately, we can't get in right now, but the mezzanine's ripped down. And then as we mentioned in the video when we were worried about it, things come up. This obviously was an issue for accessibility. We're in California, so they never made sure this place was building compliant to lease out when we leased it. Now they brought the city and the city was like, that ain't right, that ain't right, that ain't right.
I wonder what exactly is going on with this.
Probably wheelchair access or something like that. I mean, no one's gonna spend money unless they have to.
I mean, there's all of this is being torn up. Look at all the concrete shoved here in front of Dave's old office. Like, what a disaster. I'm so glad that we left.
Yeah, dude, what a nightmare.
What a nightmare.
Fortunately, the nightmare is not over.
It's not over.
It's not.
So along with all of this stuff, there are a bunch of other things that they've kind of brought to our attention on the inside of the building that they are claiming is our fault, which it's not. It's actually an environmental issue that has nothing to do with us. It actually has to do with the property and where the property is built. Dude, it's crazy, a lot of memories here.
This is the door we used to walk through every day. So to back it up for just 1 second to explain the premise of this, we paid a security deposit like you do to rent an apartment, only this is commercial, which means the lease is all the rules, there's no governing body, there's no protection outside of that. Whatever's in the lease is in the lease. So we paid $21,950 deposit. We paid $50,000 to leave the building, but I said to Damon, no big deal, we'll get $22,000 back. Cost us 20 grand, no big deal. But they went through, it took 90 days, they have 90 days to do it. On day 89, I got the list back, and we actually owe them money, apparently. So our deposit's gone, and now we owe them.
How do we owe them money?
So
because we left the building in much better quality than when we first came here.
Yeah, it's really confusing. So for example, they charged us because the door lock is no longer functioning because we replaced it with this system. So we spent $30,000 actual money to put in the cameras and all the fobs and all that. And they said, well, because we changed it, door lock no longer works. They charged us a penalty for changing the door lock. But we had $30,000 in value. And there's a lot more. Now, there are things.
So they're arguing that because the lock's not there, but now this opens the door, they're not happy with this opening the door, the security system.
They charged us $908.88 because they had to figure out how to program it.
On the inside of this building, if you guys remember, go way back to the beginning, the floors were very old, archaic. They had Swiss tracks placed all over the place inside here. We had those taken up and we polished the floor. Now we tried to epoxy the floor at first, but it was a disaster. And the reason why it was a disaster is because the actual environmental impacts of where this location is placed. This has high pressure oil basically coming up, slowly seeping in from the ground. Concrete's porous, and what happens is over time, with the ocean being so close and then that oil in the ground, a mixture of sea salt and oil gets pressed up through the concrete. And what it does is over time, it creates stains on the actual concrete floor in the form of what looks like almost like rust. And it creates these little crystals of salt that come up in the ground. They're saying that there was a chemical spill.
Yeah, let me read it. I'll read what they wrote.
Really?
Dude, it's big.
Okay.
So, by the way, they went through, and some things are totally valid. They went through every single detail. It's 22 pages. If there's a scratch on the door in one area, it's on here, we're being charged for it. Some of it is fair. This is the worst one. This is from the landlord. It's clear to me the oils and materials from the vehicles and tools have caused erosion of the concrete, which in my assessment surpasses the typical wear and tear over a 2-year period. The polishing process involving grinding down the concrete has led to noticeable degradation, particularly in areas where cars were stored and heavy machinery was employed. They're saying that, and this is all photos here, they're saying that the staining and what David mentioned, that salt coming up, is a result of chemicals and cars being stored. And that because we polished the floors, it degraded the quality of the concrete. So they're charging us, you wanna know how much?
Yeah.
$11,500.
All right, guys, the time has come. I am selling my car. That one. Okay. So the car is ready to go, except it's still a bit dusty. Came back from the body shop. It needs to get cleaned up before I can take pictures and list this thing for sale. We're gonna head to AutoZone and we're gonna go pick up some bling sauce. Bling sauce, which you guys know we love and use all the time, is available now at AutoZone. So you guys can get a free sample pack of bling sauce on blingsauce.com. Just use the code FREEDDE. This is only valid for people in the US. We love bling sauce, we trust it. Pick some up for yourself. What are you guys doing? This deal is only for the first 500 people. Go get it now.
This is an absolute mess. I have literally pages and pages and pages being super nitpicky on everything, equating to thousands and thousands of dollars. In fact, now they're demanding we pay them over $5,000 on top of our security deposit. Now, let's back it up for a second. We were told 1 month for repairs because they didn't do their due diligence as a landlord when we leased the building. I went to the city saying, we want to use the building for this. They said, you're good to go. I did my job as a tenant. They didn't get the proper permits. So we spent 2 years dealing with that, left, paid them $50,000 to break our lease. Now you guys weren't happy about that. I remember the comments. So we paid them 50 grand to go, okay, we'll walk away. Well, now they want more money from us. So now it's time to take legal action. This is an absolute mess. Like, what would you do? I literally thought this was all behind us. Clearly it's not. Clearly we're at the beginning of it, so here we go again. Calling the attorney. Hey, keeping it casual. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, man. Casual work from home day. How you guys doing?
Well, dealing with this mess now. You've gone through the whole report they sent us?
I have. I was just looking at it this morning as well.
So basically, I want to know, what are our options here? What are we dealing with?
You guys know he's taking not only your full security deposit, but he also wants you to pay an additional $5,500.
Yep.
So, and mind you, your security deposit was expensive. You know, $22,000 was security deposit, and now he's taking all of it and asking you guys to pay $5,500. So even going back to when you guys first moved into this place, I mean, let's not forget that this place lacked permits. There was a whole issue with the mezzanine. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be done to get this place up to move-in condition. Given that, and what some of the issues this landlord is nitpicking, like for example, I mean, he wants to be reimbursed for a door that's not closing, probably has a screech. I mean, if that's not nitpicking, I don't know what is. So you got some options here. You know, one, you can kind of say, you know, screw you, I'm not paying anything to you guys. Option two, a little more aggressive, you can say, not only am I not paying you, but you're taking my whole security deposit. That's BS. I'm going to come after you, and I want to be reimbursed for, you know, half my security deposit, because taking away $22,000, you know, that's a lot of money to be taken for a security deposit, and then ask for more. I mean, that's a little greedy if you ask me.
And you got to remember, when we moved in, man, that place did not look like the way we left it. Like, we put in new lighting. We put in all new bend pack lifts that were update. The old lifts that were in there when we moved in were a joke. The flooring was just basically disgusting, and all the oil, ironically, there was a lot of oil from the original landlord and his cars that were on the floors, but you couldn't see them because they basically covered it up with Swiss tracks, which are like, you know, garage flooring that's plastic clickable flooring. So once we pulled all that up and we found all that, we cleaned it all up. We tried to epoxy the floor, but because of the environmental issues with the oil in the area, which is why they have, you know, oil rigs out there, and the other issue with the salt water, the sea salt coming up through the ground and creating those salt clusters, that's the issue with the floor. So like, it's not right, man, that they're going to try to charge us 11.5 grand for an issue that's environmental. That'll just keep coming back. Like, we have video evidence of that.
Only that, you guys were great tenants in terms of, you guys made several improvements to this place as well. I mean, regarding your whole security system that you guys updated there, I mean, that was very pricey.
I have $120,000 in receipts for leasehold improvements in the building. New lighting, the security system, the flooring, painting the walls, light switches, maintenance. Like we did a lot of stuff to make it turnkey for us. And we left everything behind. We didn't take anything with us.
Yeah, I mean, the more I hear from you guys, the more I'm like, you know, hey, we should send this guy a letter saying, hey, you owe us X amount for, you know, set improvements, you know, if we want to be aggressive in that sense. But like I said, at the end of the day, you know, this whole thing is nonsense to me. If I were you guys, I wouldn't acknowledge it in a way of that you guys owe this guy money. I mean, I think the power is in your guys' hands of what you guys want to do here.
All right. Well, thanks for the advice. We'll call you back a little later. Yeah, maybe we just go ahead. Let's just, like, it's California, man. We sue everybody now.
Yep. We do here. Anyway, so it's good to see you guys. Great to hear from you guys. All right.
Take care, bro.
See you, bro.
All right, take care.
Well, this is bull.
Yeah, the more I think about it after going through that list, like, I didn't show you guys everything because it's boring. There's 22 pages of like a light switch is missing in a corner, like the most craziest stuff on that list. And we spent so much money on that building, and it wasn't our fault we left. We never wanted to leave. We wanted to stay there, but they had a mezzanine issue and we were basically forced out, and they're still not done. Had we just stayed, what would we have done with all of our cars? Like, where would the cars be right now?
At my house in Kelowna.
Yeah, we've been.
Well, enough of that. Let's move on to the better part of this video, which is we're going to see our boy Ryan at Predator Inc. That's right, the Hummer specialist. Welcome back to Predator Inc., your #1 source for everything H1. Now, Dave and I came here today for a very special reason, and that is, it is time to say goodbye to our Hummer H1. We're looking to actually upgrade and get ourselves a slant back.
Oh yeah, that one's nice.
Not funny?
Super good deal.
Really,
Super good
really good deal. How you doing, man?
What's up, bro?
Good to see you. Jason?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Dude.
What's up, man? How are you?
Now they're
What's up,
probably
dude? How
like,
you doing,
they're
bro?
probably like, what the hell happened to this?
Dude, this thing is.
You want to go? You want to go full Matt Armstrong project rebuild? Matt, you want to do an H1? You've never done an H1 before.
You won't.
So there's a crazy story actually behind this, and there is a very honest, specific reason why we came here to see Ryan. We're gonna get into our truck and what's going on with it in just a minute, but first, let's talk about this, because this story you're sharing with me is crazy.
Absolutely insane, huh?
So what all happened? Because you know, like, went rock crawling. No. Start with everybody's okay.
Okay, so yeah, everybody's okay.
Or else
Everybody is alive.
Yeah.
And actually, more people are alive because of his actions than should have been.
That's really cool.
And we're coming down to like literally like seconds in our life that if he delayed leaving his work or arriving too early or going a little bit faster, people would not be here today.
That's crazy.
It just friggin' worked out to like the second, and people are alive because of it. So what happened is, backing up here, we've been working on this truck and building this truck out for the course of like at least 15 years.
15 years?
I mean, it's crazy. We've got
this thing was like custom slant back.
Going doors back here that open up, a turret back here. There's 50 cal goes up here. There's another turret mount on the roof.
All the lights
over here, all the lights. There's got to be like, with the wiring, I would say $70,000 to $80,000 in lights and wiring.
Holy crap!
Absolutely insane.
This thing is actually freaking destroyed.
So he left work. He owns a club down in San Diego. Closed up, he left work, he's driving home, it's like 4:30 in the morning, right? And there's an accident just occurred right in front of him. 2 cars hit, suspected DUI driver, slurring her words, causes major accident, trapping 2 people inside this Tesla. So he goes around the accident, goes about 100 feet in front, because he figured 100 feet is probably safe enough distance to get away from the accident. He hits all of his lights. So he's got all of his Wayland strobe lights back here going, and he's like, literally, you can see me from the moon. So he secures that zone, everybody starts slowing down. He jumps out, runs back to the car, and realizes 2 people are locked inside. Smashes a glass, gets into the car, pulls out the 2 people that are trapped inside this Tesla. He gets them out, pulls them over this median and out of the way. He's like, okay, stay right here. And he's like, okay, I need to set up like some secure flares. So let me get back to the truck and put flares out on the road to kind of divert traffic away from this. But he got those people out of there. And as he turns to go to get the flares, this tow truck is driving at about 75 miles an hour.
The guy is texting on his phone, face is buried in his phone, not paying attention, hits the Tesla. The Tesla explodes in 1,000 pieces, where there were 2 occupants literally 30 seconds before. After hitting the Tesla, bouncing off of that car explodes. He swerves out and does a hard right-hand turn. And he's like, why he did a hard right-hand turn into my vehicle makes no sense at all. And literally T-bones his truck on the other side. Now keep in mind, this is up against a concrete wall. He's like a foot away from the concrete wall. So he hits that side, literally smashing the vehicle into like a little pancake. Hits him, that was probably like 60, 65 miles an hour, massive flatbed tow truck. Guy gets out, belligerent, like a belligerent prick of a guy, and starts mouthing off to our owner. And he's a big guy. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? You just you literally almost killed 3 people. And it starts to like sink in, like how close those 2 occupants were to death. You're talking like seconds.
Jeez.
And 3 people are alive that possibly wouldn't be here today. So pretty amazing.
That's a crazy story. I don't know if you've ever gotten hands-on with an H1, but they are made of f***ing steel. How well built these things are, and they're basically tanks with tires. This is absolutely great. Holy, dude, we didn't even see the bad side.
Wow.
Dude, it sheared.
So this is where he hit.
Bro.
This is where he came in. And literally this bumper here is all 1/4-inch plate steel formed. That thing's bent. That's doing like a U-turn here, bent in. That pulled the frame back this way, and the other frame went the other way. So the frame is doing like a U-turn as well.
Dude, this is insane.
That must have been in.
There's no way he would have survived it here.
Look at that. Holy. The way that the truck twisted and bent, it literally just shot everything out of the dash. So fortunate nobody was in this, and that he got the people out of the Tesla. Look at the way that the front end's twisted this way and the windshield's going that way. These things are so tough too.
Dude, the hair on the back of my neck standing up just looking at this thing and talking about it.
Look at that. You guys have not touched anything.
We didn't touch anything on this thing. We've got dash panels that exploded off.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, look at the front dash. Like, they just blew off.
He probably has $400,000 to $500,000 in this truck.
Dude.
It's been like a 10, 15 year build over time.
Oh yeah.
Is this a good time to mention why we're here? Holy crap. It blew that out.
And that's a 4,600 pound weight rating rim. That's pretty heavy duty rim. A little Bondo would be fine, I think.
My goodness, man. That's super scary. It's pretty cool. Save some lives. I guess the reason why we're here is, well, you guys know we've been putting some cars on the chopping block. One of the most, I think, underappreciated vehicles on our channel, and rightfully so, we're a car channel, we're not a truck channel, is our Hummer H1. This is a Duramax swapped built Predator monster. All we ever did was we upgraded the wheels and tires. Everything else was done by these guys. The interior actually in this car was really beautiful already as we got it. We did the upgrade with the brush guard and the Viper front bumper winch system, and that's about it. Basically, we bought this truck. It's ran perfectly the entire time.
It was ready to go.
It was ready to go, and it is time to, unfortunately, say goodbye to it.
Yeah.
So we brought it to Ryan. What's crazy is the market for Hummers has gone crazy since we bought this thing.
Well, it's like the Countach market. The Countach market reset, and they were like 100, 150, and now they're like the cheapest ones you can get are like 600.
Yeah.
Same thing's happening with us. I mean, it reset to like the 300 plus range, and it's still going up. It's a very underappreciated car, like you said.
Well,
Wow.
they're never gonna make more of them. Some of them, just like any vehicle, get wrecked.
Yeah.
Then the numbers get reduced. Supply and demand, man. Again, we don't drive this thing off-road enough. We don't do enough things with it. So we're gonna actually cash out of it. Someone's gonna get a really good deal. So if you're interested in a Hummer H1, listen up. Ryan was saying we should sell this thing for about $250,000. Dave and I are saying, you know what? We love the DD fam. If someone's dream was to ever get an H1, this would be your H1, because Dave and I are willing to let this thing go for 200 grand. You have to contact Ryan.
That's a good deal.
And and you can talk to him about what's in this and all the other goodies. If you want to go crazier with this, if you want to do something like what this gentleman did, these are the guys that can do all the lights, the rack, whatever it is you want to do.
But honestly, you don't need anything. This thing's dialed, ready to go.
Yeah, if you just want to buy it, look at this.
Yeah.
Good to go. We just drove it actually from LA all the way here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Drives great.
Fast too. We'll list it for sale for you.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude.
Well, another one bites the dust.
Hey, how are you guys getting home? No, I got you, Darren. I got you.
And we're back at the HQ. What a day. We've been all over the bloody place.
We're getting too old for this.
Are we?
Yeah.
I agree. Too old. So I did a thing, and the boys are trying to fix my thing I did. Is it leaking?
No, we were bleeding it.
Oh.
And it's bleeding.
You bled it all right, hey?
And it's also overheating. Oh, is it?
It is overheating?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. What shall we do with the 599s?
Send it back to the factory.
It was perfectly fine. What?
Send it back to Ferrari.
Send it back to Ferrari?
Obviously, it's got a warranty, so doesn't it?
You guys want to take it to Ferrari?
Or the dealership?
With the airbag hanging out of the side?
Hey guys, there's something wrong with my Ferrari.
Something happened. They're like, what is this? I'm like, you're not listening. We're not here for that. We're here for this. They're like, yeah, but how did that happen? I'm like, none of your business.
Shut your mouth.
Hey, what happened
Shut
to the
your
front end? Hey, yeah.
Shut your mouth.
You say to Ferrari, just shut your mouth. You're coming off stupid. Like in Step Brothers.
What was the worst case scenario of why it's doing this right now?
Head gasket, cracked block, cracked head. It could just be air bubbles. But it also...
I'm going with air bubbles.
My 599's fine, so I don't know what your problem is, bro.
Parts car. Parts car. Should we start hosting a Cars and Coffee here on the property?
I have a vision.
Right?
You guys, you gotta come. You gotta come.
Cars and Coffee?
Yeah.
So we could host a Cars and Coffee here. Dave's got some contacts for a guy who makes really good coffee. He has a mobile setup. And then on top of all that, we can get some donuts involved. Merch store just loosely set up until we can invest the money and get the big crazy one. But you could come here, buy some merch, Cars and Coffee, have a donut. So let's be honest about this.
Yes.
This isn't a we thing. Dave jumped in this car and started going completely ham.
He was going pretty crazy.
He was going so hard. So you know what?
I was getting more and more worried, I'm not gonna lie.
Right? I did one or two, and then Dave got in and was just hammering on it. I'm gonna say this time, it wasn't we. Dave blew the head gasket on my 599.
You know, I can agree. The
that's-
only killing blow was you shut the car off, but...
Wait, no, he did.
Oh,
I didn't.
Oh, wait, it was him.
That was Dave. It was all Dave, you guys. So my 599 being destroyed, and if it's down now for like a couple of weeks to get a whole head gasket done on this car or longer, it's Dave's fault,
Yes, I agree.
not we.
I agree.
So we might have a really big problem with the 599 V12. The other day, we were driving it together, had a little bit of fun, and it overheated. And the coolant cap blew off. We thought, no big deal, it overheated. And then before I started filming this video for you guys, we poured more water into it. And then it overheated again. Now we're panicking.
Dave blew my car up.
No, that's not how it went. If you watched that video from the other day,
Yeah.
he took it out to the block, cold,
It was really easy on
we
it.
started beating on it.
I didn't beat on it.
I got into it.
I didn't beat on it.
You beat
when
on
I was
it.
doing donuts, I was at 5,000 RPM. I was maintaining throttle. Listen, when you get in it and go ham for 5 times the amount of time, you are pinning it off rev limiter. Bop, 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 bop. We're like, I'm more smooth and like throttle control and like,
he beat it. I beat it hard. He beat it a little bit. I beat it harder. And then,
that sounds really wrong. And then all the liquids shot up.
and then Damon shut the car off immediately. Mike's like, don't shut it off.
Tim's loving
It can overheat if you shut it off right away. And you shut it off, and Mike
I
started
didn't
it
shut it
again.
off.
But then Mike started it again, and Mike drove it off the block, and then it overheated.
So Mike's last person to touch it.
Mike's last person
It's
touched it.
Mike's fault.
So we're gonna find out right now in this video if it's something minor, hopefully, or if we destroyed this motor. Honestly, we don't want that to happen at all. We've got so many cars down right now. This is a really not a cool situation, but we're vloggers, so we're vlogging it to find out.
Yeah.
Right now, based on what you've seen so far,
Yeah.
if you had to bet money on what's broken on this car,
What I hope it is.
No, what do you think it is? What is your gut feeling? What does your gut feeling tell you, Tim?
I think it's a head gasket.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Look at that gun show on this.
and why do you think that, Tim?
You know, changes in temperature and aluminum.
Walk me through that.
This car was at a nice brisk 65 degrees in this garage, and then it started. And then
the clutch got dumped out of the stall, and then
I didn't realize Tim had such a good memory.
I didn't know he did that. So he dropped the clutch, he started and dropped the clutch and the rolling burnout out of the garage.
yes.
So like not even.
There's a difference between a rolling burnout and just dumping the clutch on concrete floors where it slips really quickly, nothing breaks. That
So you were at like 1,000
Should I turn
RPM.
this on quickly and just cycle it?
Let's just hope it was an air bubble.
That new pressure pump sounds good. I'll take that off the car. It sounds okay.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
We have so many cars down right now. We don't want this to happen. And if it's self-inflicted, that's even more annoying.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Listen to the metal rattle when it starts. All right, start it.
I don't hear anything.
Not that time.
Yeah.
That's the power steering pump, by the way. Which, by the way, that works really good, thank you.
Nice.
And if this motor's dead, take that off, put it on my car.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't start it. We're gonna make a contraption to test the head gasket. Stop starting it!
Just so you don't think I'm being a dickhead on purpose, the Manatino switch wasn't working. It was stuck in the regular position. So I was cycling it to see if it would reset. And after you do it 3 times and it sees that nothing's wrong, it did reset.
Tim, what's the concept behind the bottle here?
We're gonna make a funnel. Mike's gonna tape it up or something.
Fill up with water tight onto that expansion tank. It will fill up and then it'll suck the water in, hopefully get all the air out. And then when it warms up, if we see small bubbles coming out of it or big bubbles, it's probably the head gasket.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Now pour some water in there.
Like a glove.
How stressed are you right now in the background, hovering right there?
Stressed.
A little stressed.
Because I'm the one that usually gets to break this stuff, and it's funny. But if you broke it this time,
Hold on, but Mike drove it last. We already established that in the timeline of events, Your Honor.
this is true.
What are you doing right now? You're squeezing the hose?
Squeezing the hose, yeah.
Look at all the air coming out of it.
So it's starting to get the water to move around a little bit.
Oh, so there was air in the system.
Yeah.
That's a positive sign.
Yes.
Possibly.
The air keeps coming in.
On, where's the air?
Alrighty. Let's fire this thing up. Prop cleared.
So we have to wait about 3 minutes for the car to warm up. Right now it's not gonna do anything. I'm gonna LOA, law of attraction, that it's an air bubble.
Yeah.
No, I don't see any water in there. Get in there.
So does that mean water's moving through the whole engine right now?
Not yet. So the thermostat's probably closed right now. So basically, water's circulating around in the block, but it's separated from the radiator almost completely. Usually the thermostat has like a little hole to just let a little bit of water through there, but not much because they want the water to heat up quicker. So we have to wait till it gets hot to figure out what's going on.
Oil and water temp is starting to move now.
Okay.
Together.
On the bottom is oil temp, and at the top there is water temp. And we're starting to get a little bit of movement. Should I rev it?
You can just leave it.
I'm just joking.
Stop it.
I'm just joking.
Stop it.
I'm just joking.
You've done enough.
No, Mike did. You did it. I did it. If this engine's destroyed, he's definitely gonna blame me because I was the last person to be beaten on it. But I think this might be a case that we all had a part of it. Damon and I might have broken this car equally. He right now is having an anxiety attack. I'm just hoping that it wasn't my fault. Or else I'm gonna have to own a motor for my car.
Yeah.
I don't know if I went from an 812.
Well, those kind of bubbles, we'll have to wait and see. If that's just air in the system.
We don't know yet.
It's a lot of bubbles, and it's not like a big bubble coming out like there's a bubble in the system that looks like it could be a head gasket. That's really big if it's a head gasket. Usually they're little tiny bubbles, or it's just a small hole. So that's our coolant mark. If it goes down from here, that means that these air bubbles are actually a space, right? It's a void in the radiator, and once that bubble comes out, water should go in there and replace it. This should get lower. Right now it's only getting higher. The coolant is getting hot and it's expanding, which it should, but with all these bubbles coming out, it should be going down at this point and not getting higher. So it's just filling up.
Where are we at?
It's about to hit 100. It's about to hit 100. I'm ready to shut it off if we have to. It's at 100. Tell them it's at 100.
It's at 100. Oh, shit. That's a lot. I got splashed. I just lost it. Well, you're gonna have to mop it again. That's not looking good. No. Probably not. I think it just started pumping even more air into it. I think when the engine got to that temperature, I don't know if it's separating more and just pushing more bubbles, because it started out small and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger until it got to this temp and it just basically boiled over. I mean, the temp was over a 100 C.
It just hit 100. It was at 100.
Yeah.
But we don't have a cap on it or anything, right?
Yeah, but with the coolant in there, it shouldn't boil until probably 220 or somewhere in there. Like the coolant raises the boiling temperature.
Is there actual coolant in it?
Yeah, there's coolant in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Should we turn it on again and just see what happens, or no?
Yeah, we can put this back on, put some water, start it and see.
All right, Damon, hop out. Let's have a little conversation over here in my office.
Good news, this is the head gasket.
Good news, it's the head gasket. Let's chat over here, Mike, about how big of a deal this is. So, head gasket. We just pop off the head right now real quick and do it in the car.
If it's a head gasket, it could be a cracked head. It could be a cracked block. We don't know until we take it apart.
So we have to pull the motor out?
Yeah.
Oh no, who are you calling?
Hey, bro.
Yo.
How you doing?
Good, what's going on?
Hey, when do you think you could rebuild my 599 engine?
Your what?
I blew the head gasket on the 599 engine.
You lost your f***ing mind?
Long time ago, bro.
Oh my god. What the f*** is wrong with you?
You know who did this, right?
Who? Did you really? If you did, it would be a lot cooler if you did it, because that would show that you got some balls.
Well, no, it's not cool because I have a 599. He doesn't want my motor if I did it. So listen to me. Let me ask you a question. How long can you have this engine rebuilt? It has to be done by the end of the month.
Well, you could go yourself, Dave. I'm about to have a stroke over here.
How's the SVJ coming along?
It's great.
I was just in good spirits about it.
Yeah.
Should we ship this? Should we get a tow truck and ship it to Gintani right now and just send it there? Okay, calm. We're gonna ship it to Gintani. Let's go get a big red bow for the hood. Hold on. Those big ones that have a car.
Let's go get a big bow.
Okay.
Yo, what's up, bro? Hey, man, I wouldn't normally do this to you, but Alex is asking me to get the 599 up to him like as fast as possible.
Fast as possible.
Yeah, like, can we do it today?